All right. Thank you very much, guys. Mr. Sell, you said that somebody couldn't be here today, correct?
Correct. Velasquez had a sick kiddo, so she's home today.
Okay, great. Well, thank you to everyone else that could be here. So we have really two items on our agenda today that we need to take care of. Like Ms. Roussel has the form up here. I also emailed everyone a copy if you wanted to preview it, but we have to make sure that we have our materials challenge form ready. If for some reason there was a materials challenge from the community, we have to have the form readily available, and then that would come to us. So, um, I took some sample ones from TASB, and our librarians had worked together to put some together, so I kind of merged them. But basically, it's so small. Let me make it bigger.
Mhm.
Um, will you go up to
To
the
the
first?
first page. Okay.
So library instructional materials challenge form under the Texas Education Code, a parent, employee, or person residing in a school district may submit a written challenge to any library material in a school's library catalog. To submit a written challenge, an eligible individual must complete and submit the library materials challenge form in accordance with Texas Education Code. An individual completing the form must identify how the challenged library material violates library standards adopted by the Texas State Library and Archive Commission. If you wish to submit a challenge or request consideration, please return the completed form to the campus principal. Does anyone have any concern about that top part?
No.
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 Mhm. So the next part is really what we kind of have to talk through and make sure we're all on the same page still about. Upon receipt of the form would be submitted to the campus principal. So it would, at the moment, be myself and Ms. Trevino. It's just listed as campus principal on here so that the form doesn't have to change if a principal changes for some reason. And then that form goes to this committee. So we would have to call a special session of this committee if we didn't have a meeting coming up to review the form and the specific title or titles. They have to submit one form for every single book. So if they're wanting to protest 10 books, it would be 10 separate forms. So it would be submitted to the Slac and campus administrators no later than the fifth day after the written challenge is received. So we have 5 days to present it to campus admin has 5 days to get it to Slac. District Slac must make a recommendation for action no later than the 90th day after the committee receives the challenge. So we have about 3 calendar months to look into it and to meet. We would probably have a meeting already scheduled during that time, but that would be the bare minimum. We can make that a lower number. We don't probably need to make it a bigger number.
So within 5 days, you or Ms. Trevino have to email us saying, hey, this has been sent, and then we have 90 days to meet
Correct.
according to this. Okay.
Yes. Well, to meet and make the formal recommendation. So, I always say you want to meet several weeks prior to when that deadline falls so that
Mhm.
we have plenty of time for a response to be formed. And then during that challenge time, a school district must prohibit student access to challenged library material until the district takes action in response to the challenge. And so that's the piece of it. It would be completely out of circulation for all students while it was under review.
Mm.
So it
Does
would
this include books that like ELA teachers are using in their classroom?
library, and classroom library, any instructional library materials.
So, I mean, I'm assuming it doesn't say this here, but if it's challenged in the elementary school, does that mean it has to be pulled from the middle school and the high school? I feel like those are different levels of
It is
reading.
different levels, but it's a district challenge. So yes, no, that's a great question. It would be on hold and not available for any students in the district while it was under review. So, in my opinion, we would try to meet as quickly as possible just to get a resolution. But it's definitely something to be aware of.
Tracy, I have a question. I'm a district employee, but I'm also on the committee. Would I be able to challenge a piece of literature, or am I not allowed because I'm on the committee?
No, I mean, you should. I would say in that instance, if it was someone who is part of the Slack, that you would recuse
I
your
wouldn't make the decision.
from the
Yeah.
deliberation
Okay.
and have,
Gotcha.
in your case, a different administrator would sit representing your campus. Um,
Okay.
it would be kind of difficult if it was one of our librarians because there aren't very many of you. But I think you would recuse yourself from the decision-making process.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But
Okay.
I mean, that's something we can discuss. Any thoughts on that timeline?
I mean, I think the 90 days gives us time. It would just be if it's, I like, I would want to do it as quick as possible. If it's like a teacher who like has lesson plans based on like a unit study of a book to try to get them an answer as quick as possible.
So do we want to say 60th day?
Well, if you leave it at 90, we can still make the decision
Yeah.
earlier, right? It doesn't mean that.
Do we want to say like school or business days, not days? Because if it's 90 like days, that also includes Saturdays, Sundays, holidays, all of that. Are we wanting to include those or are we wanting to not?
That's a great point. So if we just say 90 calendar days, it really is smaller than saying
Mhm.
90 school days. Okay. So we can clarify that at 90 calendar days. Y'all okay with that?
Mhm.
Okay. And then, okay, so then it's just basic information from there. They put their date, name, all of that. At the bottom, they circle whether they're a parent, guardian of a student, a district employee, or a district resident. What would be a little tricky in our situation is if there was a community member off the base that
Mhm.
didn't have a student here, technically they don't meet the criteria to challenge. It would be just living on base or having a student here, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
And that goes back to the Texas Education Code. Okay, and then page 2 is listing the book information. And so there's a link here, and I guess it would be hyperlinked on the web page to the TSLAC standards, because basically what they're saying is that there's something in this book that doesn't meet the TSLAC standards. That's what the committee is reviewing. It's not anything about our personal feelings or anything like that. We're looking at, does it violate what the TSLAC expectation is? Because that's what the state has set as the standard.
Mhm.
I like having that on there that they have to do the legwork as far as what part are you challenging rather than just being open to that you don't think it's a good choice.
Right. Right.
And I know you said about not putting your emails, so the form doesn't have to be changed. So are we just leaving that up to them that they have to do that search to who they have to contact?
I mean, we can add it on there if y'all think that that's better. We would just have to remember when administration changes to change it.
I would say though, if they can find this form, they probably can find the email address.
That's a good point. Maybe we could say that do we want to offer that they can drop it off at district office, if not emailed to the campus principal?
Yeah, because I don't think on the website, I think you can just email through that contact. I don't know that it has your guys' emails addresses posted anywhere.
You are correct. It is not posted, but you can email directly from the website because I've had to do that before.
But I don't know if it lets you
Oh.
upload that you would be able to upload this.
Oh,
So maybe we say email the form to the campus principal or drop it off at the front office, and then we would just have to advise our front office receptionist that it has to be receipted of when.
Okay.
Are y'all okay with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm okay with that, but I would just clarify on the first page if you do that, um, where it says upon receipt, like define what upon receipt is, like
Perfect.
upon receipt at the district or by a campus principal.
I appreciate that.
Because
So
we have a mailing address up there at the top, so maybe even just take off the mailing address so that it's not confused that they can submit it that way.
yeah, that's the letterhead. So um, hold on, I'm trying to find that piece. So I do think, and it's received at the front office. So that would be on the campus to have a procedure of,
Mhm.
we're receiving it as received on Tuesday. If the receptionist for some reason doesn't get it to the principal until 7 days later, then that's a campus internal problem. Is received at the front office. Maybe I bold that part on the front to distract from the other address.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So any other feedback on the form? No?
No.
All right, then I'll get those changes made and get them put on our required postings. That's all I got on the form.
And then did anyone get a chance to look at the book lists, or do you guys want until Friday to just email should we have emails so that it's like documented? Okay, so Ms. Martin was ahead of the game and sent that out 2 weeks ago with her information. I just had 3 I added because we're new to pre-K this year in STEM. So as we make lessons, we need to add those books on. And then when speaking with Officer Bornhauser today, we were talking about, we have Read Across America coming up and realized that we can no longer invite guests to bring their own books, that we have to have our books. And she had shared that she had some books about being a police officer that we overlooked the first time. So she gave me all those titles today, and I put those on there for approval as well, so she could share those books with students. So if we can say by Friday to just email the team and say an approval or disapproval of those 3 lists, is that good with everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll send a follow-up email.
And we'll do it the same as last time, that if there's a not approval, then we'll come back.
Yep.
Okay. That's all
I was just sorry to revisit the form, but we talked about calendar days versus school days. I don't know if you want to clarify that for the 5 days as well, whether that's 5 calendar days or 5
Oh,
school
yeah.
days, because that's probably more, since it's a shorter period of time, makes more of a difference.
I think that, are y'all okay with saying 5 school days for that piece and then 90 calendar days for the total?
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Should we make them the same though? Like then cut down the 90 to 60 and say school days, just so that it's not like one is one way and one's the other?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yes,
I think so. Yeah. That's plenty of time.
it is.
Yeah.
60 school days.
So what if somebody submits during the summer?
So it wouldn't be, the first day wouldn't count until August when we start school.
Does that have to be noted anywhere on there?
I mean,
Well,
typically,
I mean, the office is closed anyway.
yes. I mean, if we wanted to, I can add a bullet of a school day is defined as a day with students in attendance. Do y'all think
That's
that's
probably not, I think that's probably, it
Good
won't
idea.
hurt to have it on there.
Yeah.
okay? I can do that. I'll go ahead and once I make these edits, I'll email it out to everyone just so you can have one last look. If that's okay.
Do you want to email it to me and I will just put that all in one email to everyone with approval on all those things?
Perfect. I'll get it to you today before I leave. Sounds good.
And then do we want to plan one more before the end of the school year? So April?
Just get testing.
April's pretty full with testing. Yeah. So maybe if we needed to, beginning of May, but yeah, April I think is pretty full.
Let's see, we've got
Or what about like April 30th? Because we should be mostly done by then.
Thursday the 30th.
What does that look like?
I think you guys don't have, there's no school on the first. I don't know if that makes a different calculus for you on that Friday because of the air show. I'm pretty sure. Oh, well, I don't have, my kids have school. You guys have teacher in service, I think.
We can do the 29th or 30th of April, or we can push into the first week of May.
I think since we're used to doing them on Wednesdays, the 29th I think would probably work for us over here.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
All right, I will put a calendar invite for that too.
All right.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Bye.